Hi, welcome to Azariah's Fiber Arts. My name is Sarah, and I am the artist and designer behind Azariah's Fiber Arts. Hit the like or subscribe button anytime while you're watching. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to show you what I do to bind off 2x2 rib in pattern to keep it stretchy and to keep it from flaring out. So I work a modified version of the traditional bind off. I have my sample here. If you want to follow along with me, here are the instructions. And the first one is going to be purl, and you're going to see me working through the back of this stitch because that's the way it's on here, because of the way I've been purling. So I'm going to purl the first stitch. Now to move my yarn back to the back, because I'm going to knit the next stitch, I'm going to drop my yarn, going to take it under my needle this direction, and I'm going to knit the next stitch. Pass this stitch over. We are to our first two purls now. I'm going to knit the first purl, pass the second stitch over. I'm going to work a purl in this one. I'm going to bring that yarn back to the front. Purl, pass the stitch over. I'm going to purl the next one. Pass the stitch over. Trying not to split my yarn here. Okay. Take the yarn back under the needle. This gets tricky if you're on a circular, but it can be done because there's never more than 2 stitches on this particular needle. Using just the needle part of an interchangeable needle is acceptable. Also using a DPN is acceptable. I'm going to knit the next stitch. And I'm going to talk about what we're doing now. So basically, this is a purl section. So whatever the section is, for the very first stitch, you do the opposite. So I'm going to knit the first stitch, and I'm going to purl the second stitch. The next section's a knit section, so I'm going to purl the first stitch and knit the second stitch, which is why I start with 1 purl, and then I do 2 knits, 2 purls, 2 knits. Got to keep them loose. I don't know if I kept these loose enough. Honestly, they feel a little bit snug. If you're concerned that you're not keeping it loose enough, you can always go up to a larger needle for this guy here. And that's what I usually do. I didn't do that on this particular one. Back under to do that final purl stitch. Pass the slip stitch over. And then we're going to finish off. Sure we are. All right. This is the bind off. This is the cast on. The cast on goes back together nicely. The bind off doesn't go back together as far. If I had used a larger needle, that would have helped. Right, this sleeve here was worked with that same bind off I just showed you, and you can see how nice it lays. It doesn't have a ton of spring back into it. Part of that is the way that I've blocked it. Let me get a piece here. Okay, the black was bound off, the purple was cast on. Different cast on than this. This is the backwards loop cast on. This is the cable cast on. And this piece has been blocked, so it makes a difference in how the ribbing lays. You can see the ribbing's already quite open. And this one is too. But they've got the same type of memory going on here. So when this bind off is worked further away from the cast on is part of the issue as well. And with a larger needle in this hand, it comes out very nice. But you can see it lays better than if I had done a knit bind off all the way across or a purl bind off all the way across. Because I was matching the stitches that I was on and going into, it lays better and looks nicer. And you can see that in this finished edge as well. It continues the knits and the purls much nicer than just doing a knit bind off. All right, that's how I bind off 2x2 rib, but it will work for most rib situations. 1x1's obviously going to be a little different. You're going to alternate knit, purl, knit, purl. If you see a knit, you're going to purl, and if you see a purl, you're going to knit. If this tutorial was helpful for you, please hit the like button. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss anything. Thank you for watching. If you have more questions, you're welcome to leave a comment below or email me, Sarah@azariasfiberarts.com. Happy making!